And Bev.
Yeah, we're new to this and probably would have done a lot more if we'd really known and understood the process.
Well, we don't bite, and you're most welcome.
No, it's not like the Dragon's Den, is it?
No, not quite.
Definitely.
Notwithstanding the impressiveness of this council chamber. That's all right.
Okay.
So we've got about 10 minutes.
You.
We've got your written submission. Over to you how we use the 10 minutes, but it's always good if we can have an opportunity to engage with you before we expire those 10 minutes.
Okay, thanks
Welcome.
for that. Okay, so Bev and I represent ourselves, but as well as that we're representing the New Brighton Sustainable Coastal Village project. We as a project are participating in the regeneration of New Brighton. We're co-creating a sustainable neighbourhood in New Brighton based on the principles of... Sorry, okay. You want me to start again?
Yeah, no,
I can hear it now, it's going back.
That's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we're participating in the regeneration of New Brighton as the New Brighton Sustainable Coastal Village project. And the project is based on the principles of permaculture and co-housing. Co-housing means it's a balance of private and public spaces within the village. And of course there's 12 principles of permaculture which form the basis of our values. There's not enough time to share what those are here today, but in a nutshell they are about earth care, people care and fair share. So community is at the heart of our project, and we've had several people comment on how closely our preliminary plans and what we're doing embody what was actually expressed in Share an Idea after the earthquakes. We've been engaging with the Christchurch City Council staff since we formed in 2014, and most recently with a deputation to the Community Housing and Economic Development Committee, because the stage we're at now is at the stage of acquiring some land in order to progress our project. And from that a resolution was decided to investigate the titles and the future use of our preferred site, which is at the moment a City Council car park. And council staff are actively involved in researching that at the moment. So our community-driven project is aligned with the New Brighton Centre Master Plan as well, and the village will be an exemplar demonstrating 21st century living. Will be designed to sit lightly on the planet, ecologically and economically. And as I already mentioned, the heart of the development is the community. And we together will participate in the design and management of our living environment. It's a different approach to developing living spaces, and one that empowers those living there and the wider community as well. The concept plan is scalable and transferable. I'm not sure if you actually got our plans. You did? Oh, fantastic. Yep. We actually didn't know. It was a last minute thing last night that we thought we'll try and send it to you. So System what you've got there is the supporting documents that we used in our deputation to the council. It gives you an idea of what we're about. So in this, notice that I use the word we. So that's because there is active collaboration between all members of our organisation as well as other New Brighton community organisations, including the New Brighton Business and Landowners Association, Renew Brighton, and another organisation called SURF. We also actively collaborate with the wider community, with organisations such as the Viva Project and the social enterprise Spacecraft Systems Limited, which is developing WikiHouse in New Zealand. It's collaboration that forms the nucleus of our way of being. And when it's authentic, we found that it becomes a very, very powerful force for change. Authentic democratic decision-making within our organisations, we're trialling processes, and we've reworked them until we're finding a good fit that fits our village community in particular. So with that in mind, it's our hope that the Greater Christchurch Regeneration Bill will, in practice, enable a real we regeneration and allow it to occur. We hope that all who want to participate will feel empowered and supported to do so. Just imagine the possibilities of that. Given all of the other speakers, I mean, we've been listening for quite some time yesterday and this morning as well. The energy's there. So in order for our project, the New Brighton Sustainable Coastal Village project, and initiatives like ours to have the best chance of succeeding, we believe the Greater Christchurch Regeneration Bill needs to be written and implemented in such a way that ensures that A, we're actually able to participate and not be swallowed up in bureaucracy. And B, it needs to focus on long-term regeneration and transformation, which may include non-commercial benefits rather than short-term and only commercial interests. So for this reason, we consider of the options and the things available, that the option 3 plus would be the best way forward for us. And you all have that as a reference. So we ask that when making your recommendations, you ask yourselves, will this make it easier for projects such as ours to fly? Will it enable groups that are prepared to step out and just do it? Like you heard from Colin Merck yesterday. His project took 25 years to come to fruition, but he was a person that just stepped out and did it. We'd like those sorts of projects to be supported. Another question you need to ask is, will it assist us to connect with and work with others in our communities to add strength and connections? And ultimately, will it be the best option to bring about authentic regeneration and transformation for the people and by the people, in our case of Greater New Brighton, Christchurch and New Zealand? Thank you.
Thanks very much. Now, Matt's got a question?
Yep.
Fire away, Matt.
Thank you very much. Good submission. So, New Brighton is singled out, I suppose, as one area that is highlighted under this bill, and I think probably everyone will agree that it's much needed, and would very much like to see New Brighton come back to life for the strength of the whole region. There's some risks here, I suppose, and as we've seen that's playing out across the city, is that Christchurch, I suppose, was very sort of a traditional conservative town. Things had been around for a while, and then the earthquakes threw everything up, and everything was kind of up for grabs. And as we've heard through submitters, a lot of people submitted, had ideas, but not everyone could be pleased, and some people get a bit disaffected by that. From a ground-up approach, when New Brighton is regenerated, have you got any thoughts about how you say yes and no to some ideas but still keep people engaged? People who have actually ended up on the losing side because their ideas weren't agreed.
New Brighton, has had so many, in the past, so many sort of hopeful things happening, and then they haven't happened. The pool would be one of those. But underneath everything in New Brighton, it's a very strong community, isn't it? Connected. I mean, it does have, differences of opinion, but overall, everybody is on the page and wanting, it to be regenerated in a way that's not like the Gold Coast. It keeps its own personality, and is connected with the city as well.
So, because it's a smaller area, maybe a bit more homogenised without being generalising too much. So it won't be at risk of maybe what's happening with Greater Christchurch, where there's sort of polarising views on things, maybe.
I don't think so, no. Yeah. I think,
okay.
The New Brighton Business and Landowners Association, when that was formed, that has had a really big impact on bringing together the different groups there. Is there time just to make one quick comment to David's question to the previous speaker about the central city? You heard us mention the Viva project, and we think one of the best things that the Crown could do is take the 4 finalists that all had fantastic sustainable urban villages, make that happen. All 4 of them. It may be for a start, you may have to let the land go at a negotiated price, because I believe one of the reasons that the Viva project, which we're associated with, the land price was not negotiable, and so the Viva project actually pulled out at the second stage, because in all honesty we couldn't meet the values and the vision, because it was going to make it too expensive for people living there. How that's done? Collaboration with all those people involved. It may be that the government does not get the full benefit of the land cost immediately. Maybe there's some sort of thing there that it could be leased for a period of time, a 3-stage buy of the land. I don't know. I mean, what's possible?
Can I just ask a simple one? I had the impression from outside that land values in the CBD are being held falsely high, given what's happened. I'm not criticising people for what's happened to land values, but it seems to me that the current land value in Christchurch, given how much development in the intervening period has happened outside of the CBD, the lack of demand for new buildings in the CBD area means that the land value in that central CBD area may in actual fact currently be quite low. Are you aware of anyone having considered what the current land values are there? Because it may well be that that the land value in that area is actually quite affordable at the moment.
Bev's been involved in real estate.
Too high at the moment. The land value is too high at the moment for most projects to work.
Well, is that another way of saying that people's expectations as to land value are higher than its actual land value? Because there doesn't seem to be much development happening at higher land values.
No, there isn't, because everyone is still expecting that, including the Crown, will not release the land. They won't negotiate the land value.
Yeah.
The East Frame is part of that. The core group was told for the Viva that we could play around with a little bit of it in the short term, but there is no negotiating. And we were also told that part of the land around the Litchfield area is 3,500 a square metre. It's absolutely unworkable for anybody to build, and especially if you're looking at residential and small developments.
Thank you.
Eugenia, did you have a question? No. Okay, then thank you both very much for taking time to be with us. It's I hope it wasn't as gruelling and
No, it
testing
wasn't
as you
so
thought.
scary after all.
Good, no, we're pussycats, really.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Appreciate you taking the time and effort.